1, and now we are on live. So hi Michael, thank you so much again for being here. Thank you so much for all the attendees. Today Michael is going to present in this session unleash the power of teams with Power BI Legends. So this will be a really great session. I hope all of you can enjoy this session. So that's all from my side, and then the public is yours, Michael. So
thank you very much. Thank you for the short introduction. I'm really happy to present on this event. It's the first time for me to be in Latin America. You will hear it in my accent. I'm not an English native speaker, but I do my best to bring you the idea behind the Power Virtual Agents in Teams together today in this session. First of all, let's take a look into if you choose the session and you can check if it's the right one. This is about Teams and Power Virtual Agents. My name is Michael. I'm a co-founder and CEO of a small company next to Munich in Germany. And I'm an MVP for Office Apps and Services. Let's start with a big thank you for our sponsors for this event. Without the sponsors, it wouldn't be possible to bring everything together. Even it's a virtual event, it takes time, preparation, and even all the stuff put together, it's necessary to get help from the sponsors here. So thank you very much for our platinum sponsors and our gold and silver sponsors. Thank you very much to all of you. We are really happy to have you on board. Now just a quick introduction to myself. I already said I'm Michael. I'm a co-founder of a small company, and we are focusing on teams basically. So we are doing projects for teams in rollout, implementation, preparation. This is combined with user adoption, change management, project management, all together. And in my spare time, I'm a host and actually the lead for the Teams user group in Germany with a chapter in Munich. And I'm also the co-host and organizer of an adoption and change forum, also in Munich. As mentioned before, I'm an MVP for Office Apps and Services. And at this point of time, you never heard about Power Automate or anything from Power Suite except the title. For good reason. This is not my main business. This is not the thing I do on a daily basis or to earn money. So this is something I discovered, and this is something I discovered on a more experimental way. So I tried something and I was just hooked from the idea behind the Power Virtual Agents. So that's the reason for this session. And I do a podcast, a video and audio podcast together with a fellow MVP about all the topics from Microsoft 365 that also includes the Power Suite. And that makes it interesting for me. If you're interested and you have additional questions, you can contact me on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and don't hesitate to contact me. Just connect, and I'm happy to share everything you are asking for, or I can help us at least. And now let's talk about what is this session about. Yes, it's about my discovery from Power Virtual Agent, but after I realized there is something cool that is just a click away or a couple of clicks away right into Teams. I thought about what is a PVA, a Power Virtual Agent. I was thinking about the licenses, the use cases, the general principles. And after all these topics that I will discuss with you or show you today, we'll take a look into the demo. So don't be afraid, this is not just a PowerPoint presentation. We will go into the live system. Okay. First of all, what is Power Virtual Agent? Basically, I thought it's a huge, complex scenario. This is something like this. You know, this is something with a central point, with a bot you create. You give some information to the bot. You set up some API and SDK calls. You do some crazy things, and you have to know all the stuff you connect with the bot. Lucky me, it was not this complex. It was way easier. Otherwise, I wouldn't do anything with the virtual agents, to be honest. So let's take a look into what can I do? What is the PV agent, Power Virtual Agent here? So first of all, it's a kind of framework to use the bot creation. A framework that is easy to use. I can use it in Teams for internal bots, and because it's in Teams, it is easy to access for all users. But there are some other bots. There are some other bots you can create with PVA, and these bots are implemented on the website. For example, right in your help desk website, for example, internally or externally. You need some experienced admins to handle all these more complex stuff, because the scenarios you are maybe involved are also more complex. So there are two different ways, basically, how you can use Power Virtual Agents. That brings me to the topic licenses. If there are two different ways, you may guess it, there are two different licenses. Let's take a look into the first option here. The first option is to create a bot for a channel. And you have the default Microsoft 365 subscriptions, and you have the standalone Power Virtual Agent license. Within a channel to create a bot, you can do it with both licenses. But in the Microsoft 365 subscription world, this is just the only thing you can do with the creation of a bot. So that's the only thing you can do. There's no way to create it for a website. If you go for the previous mentioned website, powerva.microsoft.com, you can create a bigger one, integrated in your website. You can also create this on this website, your bot for a channel, but not if you have the Microsoft 365 subscription license only. The next one is the Power Automate connectors. You have a limitation what is built in for your Microsoft 365 subscription and the Power Virtual Agents. You can use just the standard connectors. And yes, you have the chance to use premium connectors. Once again, it costs the bigger license. It's not included into the default Microsoft 365 subscription. So think about all the connectors you need. If you need some premium connectors, you have to think about the different licensing models from your Power Suite. Web security. Why do I need a web security? Of course, if I use the Power Virtual Agent on a website, reachable from everywhere, and I may want to address it from an external service, then I do need a secure way to communicate to the Power Virtual Agent. And from the description, that does not meet with Microsoft Teams. So Microsoft Teams is definitely just in Teams creation, so there's no way to create it a secret and use it outside of Teams. On the other hand, you guess it, the bigger license gets you more capabilities, also the secure way to provide it to other services. And last but not least, the connection to Azure Bot Framework skills. Long story short, it's not available in Microsoft 365 subscriptions. If you have the situation where you want to use some maybe existing framework skills, I'm sorry, you have to use the bigger license. And this standalone license, it's not a problem. You can just go ahead and use the Azure Bot Framework skills. And I already mentioned multiple times the bigger license. What does that mean? Well, that means you may have to pay about $600 US dollar for the license, a single one. There are less limitations, and if you are a heavy user and maybe fits it on your help desk website, it's worth the money. But if not, if it's just for play around a little bit, then it's maybe expensive. So keep that in your mind. And also check your license specialist to give you a real price instead of the default Microsoft price. Maybe you have a discount. Now let's talk about the use cases. I was using the PVA and I instantly had some ideas how to continue and use PVA here. The first one is, I'm not a programmer. I really have an issue with when it comes to a more complex code as PowerShell. Not my point to work with. And this framework, this PVA, can help me to create bots without this experience, without any programming experiences. So it maybe can help some technical users to use it more easy and create the first bot almost instantly. The next one is, it can help the IT to create some simple workflows to enforce lifecycle management, governance, policies, because you're in charge of creating something more active, interactive. You also can define and specify the rules you are working with. That means, for example, I can create a workflow, a Power Virtual Agent flow, to create a team. I can specify some naming policies, some additional parameters. I can specify almost everything I need for the lifecycle process, and I already fulfill my governance rules. Maybe a second user or whatever I need because of my internal governance rules. I can do it just right away, and the user will never have the situation where they think, I cannot do this or I cannot do that, because there are some rules, some limitations. They are just chatting with a bot, and the rest, the magic happens in the backend. But it's not only for IT. If you have a company where your users are more advanced, so they have an idea of IT and maybe try something out from time to time. You can use those power users to use Power Virtual Agent for their own departments. So if you have someone who is maybe working in a marketing department and he has an idea to create a better workflow, it maybe makes sense, and he or she is able to work with some IT stuff. Then these people can help you. They can create these bots on their own and improve the work of the whole department. Maybe to support the IT. For example, if you're in a situation where you are the IT responsible or someone in the IT department and you get the job, you would like to have this parameters as input and that document as output. You may think, okay, what do I need? What is important? And you have multiple sessions, multiple try and error sessions maybe to identify the right workflow for you. In this situation, the department can take over the control and start with a default bot, which maybe is ready before you start with anything. Oh, sorry. And they also are not challenging you with the process stuff happening in their department. So the IT is able to just answer technical questions instead of rethinking all the different processes in your organization. Now let's talk about the general principles. What does that mean? Generally speaking, these are the ways how you should work with PVA. And everyone with a PVA creation process should work with. It's really simple. You start with a creation, of course. Otherwise, you will never see something. You go for the advanced creation when you have more specific needs. You go for the publishing process of the bot, and afterwards you analyze everything what's happening on your bot. You just take a look into how is it going, how many errors did I have, and I will explain why this is important. And then you adjust. And that's it. You just repeat the last two steps. Analyze, adjust, analyze, adjust. And at the end, you get a bot which is powerful because you had so many time to analyze it and fix all the small issues. Now, let's have a demo time. I will start with a demo. Okay. Stop my sharing and I will present that one. Here we go.
Yeah, now it's showing it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for the feedback. I tried to make it a bit bigger. Okay, I will do it on another way. Good. So here I am in Teams. Because I don't have the bigger license right now. And the idea is to improve the workflow I've created or I usually use on a manual way for IT. Situation is I create some teams manually multiple times. And I don't want to do it anymore. So let's start with a Power Virtual Agent. Because this is not a default app, you have to search for the app. And yes, you can use it in Teams right away. You can go for the Power Virtual Agent and can go for the Power Virtual Agent as a personal app. Okay. So just click on it, add it, and here you are. I would like to pin it here. That's your entry point. And Microsoft is telling you, create a chatbot in 5 minutes, no code. That's a statement. Let's challenge this. I would like to start with a chatbot. You can see the different teams I have. I take this one to add a bot. And now it's, I specified the chatbot to this channel. It's already implemented. There's a small step which is adding the bot to your team, not the channel, to your team. I skipped that. I prepared that because everything was a bit slow today, and I just wanted to avoid that we wait for 5 minutes or something like that. So don't be afraid if there's something new creating on your team. Okay, let's start with a name. Create my teams. I can specify the languages from the bot. That helps me, especially at the beginning. Oh, there's some new languages over here. When you start with the interaction, so with the active part to talk, all right, better with the chatbot here. Let's start with the creation process. It takes a minute. And yeah, let's go for the chatbot. It's created, and I got a blank one. Almost blank one. You get some help here. Please follow them. They are good. These help articles are very good. Give it a chance. And yes, here we are. The first of all is get familiar with the interface here. On the left side, you have a menu. And you can think about this menu just to follow it from top to the bottom. Within the topics, I will show it to you in a minute. On the very bottom side, you can see hide bot. This is actually this area here, because you can run a test almost every time during your creation process. Instead of publishing it and testing for yourself, you can do it right here in the interface. Let's close it. I got a small overview. What are the next steps? And the first one is go to the topics. Okay, go to the topics. Makes sense to me. Because within the topics, you can see it's not empty. The bot got already some pre-configured topics. But what are these topics? Basically, these are some workflows, some flows, how your bot is handling specific topics. Here are some examples you can play with. You can get an idea. This is for training, basically. And I try to make it a bit bigger. What was the order? That one. But I cannot get this here. So here it is. A simple topic with conditions and variable. So you can create your first topic based on an existing example. You can go ahead and just test it out. And this can be turned off. Let me pull it a bit wider here. Okay. These can be turned off. The other ones here cannot be turned off because they are default. They can help you with some specific ways to work with. You also see the different types here. They are from the system, prepared for you with a greeting, for example. And you do see the topic is named as greeting. You have the option to work on this. And there are some trigger phrases. Here you see, good afternoon. That's good. But the number before this good afternoon is mentioning 51 more phrases where this topic gets triggered with. That means you have 52 ways to address a greeting. And why is it important? Let's start with your own topic. Then you maybe realize it. Teams creation. I don't need a bit more, so let's go for the trigger phrases here. And trigger phrase is create a team. And now let's go for the test. Create a team. Okay. Let's save it. Create a team. Okay, it was too early, I think. I created one trigger phrase here, and it's okay. And now let's specify the topic, how to work with. During the saving part, I got an error because this is prepared within the topic. And it was not fulfilled. It was not edited right now. So there's the option to, to specify the next steps here. And if you ever had an experience with Flow, Power Automate, then you may look at this and think, oh, that looks familiar. And yes, that was exactly my idea. So let's think about it as exactly the same way Power Automate does. You have a trigger phrase, which is actually a trigger, and then something happens. And here the first step is at least a message. So let's go for a warm welcome. And then I would like to add a bit more. I can ask questions. Yeah, that maybe makes sense for our process. I can add a condition. Well, maybe, let's see. I can call an action. This is something I will show you in a second or in a couple of minutes. show a message, something like this here, and I can redirect to another topic. Or I can end with a survey. And when I go to redirect to another topic, I can see all the different topics we have seen before. Sorry for that. So everything what's here is basically all the different topics you have specified outside of this single topic. You can make a redirect if you make maybe a specific flow, a specific workflow to get an idea. Here you go. And maybe have multiple questions, multiple topics to get an answer to. For example, for an onboarding process of a new user, just as an idea. Okay, now let's ask a question. And I would like to ask what's the name of the team? That's quite easy. I do have multiple options here. The first one is just for editing. I can create a link. The last one is more interesting. I can insert a variable. So if I ever had a variable maybe already specified and I have a longer process, I can reuse it here and use some previous configured or requested information. Where is this variable coming from? You do have the option to add one here, or you have the option to specify them here in the question, in a specific step. And here's an edit button. Yes, I can and I should use this edit button to make it unique. So let's go for name. I can specify the scope, if it's just for this topic or is it for the whole bot. In my case, it's just for the topic. That's totally fine. Okay, and now let's save. Yes, I know I have some errors. For the moment, it's okay, because right now I do have multiple options to choose from. There was a pre-selection. I haven't changed here anything. And for me, it doesn't make sense, because I would like to get a long answer, short answer, whatever the answer should be or could be. I don't want to make a choice, or that I don't want that the user make a choice. I would like to have the entire response. Oh, that's sorry. Okay. So let's go for the entire response here. But what have I changed here? I changed the identifier, and the identifier is a pre-configured set of different types. It's my best description for this one, because the type specified maybe a format, how does a information should look like, and gives you the opportunity to maybe ask for a phone number, and instead of getting a word, they are requesting the phone number and is matching, looking for the right format of this answer you're asking for. Okay. For me, it's totally fine to get an answer. Whatever it is, I just take it. Good. I would like to add another one. I do need a description. I'm doing the same. I change it here. And I change it here. Okay. I'm good to go. So let's go for a test. Open that. And now create a team. And now we see it's working because I fixed the error. I do see it's asking, it's handling, it's starting, and I do see the right step right here. The current step is marked as check, and it's basically waiting for the input. Yeah. And it's going to the next one if I answer it. So the bot is already interacting with me. That's good. But that's not good enough because, yes, I got all the information I maybe need for my process and the bot is working. But you remember about the trigger phrases? Let's try something different here. Create a team. Just to visualize it, it's just an uppercase T instead of a lowercase. It's not working. Let's go ahead and oh, sorry, I missed the M. Oh my goodness, it's working. Sorry, that's the first one since months. It's working. Yes, they fixed an issue with uppercase and lowercase. That's brilliant. I think it was some of the latest changes. During this time, now you're not limited to use it in upper and lower cases. I think that mixed is good as well. Before, it was really an issue because you had to estimate all the different ways how your users will enter it here. And now it's fixed. That's great. I learned something today. That's awesome. And now let's think about the process again. I would like to create a team, right? I created a trigger phrase. I may want to create multiple trigger phrases. I can go back, edit here, and maybe add something like this. And I'd like to save it, edit it again. And now it's working on the other one as well. That's quite easy. And that's not the big deal here. It starts when you choose what are the next steps. And you can choose from either making a condition. Let's take a look into this one here. So it doesn't make sense to use this on the existing questions. So let's add another question. And maybe you just realized what I did. I just clicked on the flow on a specific point and I got a new button here to add a node. And then it was instantly in the middle of this path and I can configure it here. create this team. Let me add the name here. And the options are yes and no, and maybe not sure. And you saw it already, it's drifting away because now I got the conditions here. Different conditions based on just because I selected multiple choices are available. So the first condition could be, yeah, the var, because I forgot to rename this here. That's the reason why you should rename it. Create. And yes, it's just a regular button, regular letters. So let's go for the condition. This variable create should be equal to yes. The create should be to no. There's another one with no. That doesn't make sense. Let's delete this one. Okay, and now let's go for an action. If my option is yes, then I call an action, and this action is empty. Almost. You are able to authenticate. Oh, sorry, I forgot this. You're able to authenticate or create a flow. And when you create a flow, this is a specific flow. No, not yet. I would like to save it before. If you create a flow, this is a specific flow for your agent. Okay, here we go. You got some predefined flows or templates available. In the meantime, you got multiple. Let's go for that one, just the plain one, and I will specify everything what is in the middle of this conversation, because you have to think about the structure. You're calling a bot with a trigger, and this bot got a task. Power Automate will complete your task. I can go for the input field here, and I can maybe get some input here, an output, which is text again. And in the middle, I added something with teams, create a team. The first one is name. The first input is name. The second one is description. Okay, and there are no input values right now. And now I can go for this one here, name and description. I just do it like a regular flow, because from this perspective here, it is a regular flow. The only difference is you have an input area and an output area where you can hand over some information. That means, yeah. I can add, for example, this team ID and saving. Just go ahead. Okay, not sure about this URL. Okay, it's saved. Now I close it. I'm coming back to my action here. I can add this action, and yes, I forgot to rename it. So it's a virtual agent flow from a template. And here you got automatically an option to add the variables just to hand it over to your flow. And here I got the value back ID of the team. So based on this, I'm good. I just want to say, okay, redirect to another topic, goodbye, and I'm good. But what happens to the other ones? Well, I can connect them. That doesn't make sense. Let's go for that one. No, that one. I can also connect that one here just to ensure it's falling apart. And by saying falling apart, everything I just removed is on top of it. So delete it to avoid any issues. Okay. So the idea is I create a new team, and it's working here. Creating a team. What's the name? Demo. Okay. No. The first of all is you realize this is a name. I just used a variable. I just go to no. Not sure if I got using the last one. No. Okay. And then I got the redirect to the goodbye topic without any additional trigger phrase. When I think this bot is ready, and this is basically just because of the time, I can publish this bot. So I just tested the bot. You go to the home, can edit and test bot, and then go to publish. I would like to publish the bot. And the first one is, yes, I would like to publish it. So it's available outside of this one here, outside of the creation process. I can open it in Teams because this is now a personal app for me. That's okay. But it's maybe not what you're looking for because now it's a personal app. But you are looking for, just go ahead here. You're looking for the publishing for the whole company. So go to publish and then make a bot available to others. And there you are. Yes, I want to make it available for everyone. Let's go for the availability option and show in the Teams App Store on my teammates and shared users or to everyone in the org. Let's go for everyone in the org. Here I do have an app ID. I can copy it just to ensure it's working, and then I submit an admin approval. And I would like to share it, of course. What happens right now? I just created something for myself. And now I decided I would like to publish it with a company. But usually you are not allowed to do it on your own for a good reason. Usually security and governance, maybe compliance reasons. So when we talk about publishing it, then you go for admin.teams.microsoft.com. A Teams admin has to open it in the app section of the Teams admin center. So go for it. Teams app, manage apps. And here you see there is a submitted custom app. Let's order by status. These are all allowed and these are blocked. This is blocked by publisher. So let's go for the create my teams. And I have to publish it. I have to change the status to published. And here you are. This bot is available on the App Store for your whole organization. You can set up some icons. Sorry, that was the wrong one. You can set up some different colors. You can do more things with the interface, but that's not for now because I'm definitely running out of time. And now it takes a couple of minutes. You get the point here with build for your org, and within your org, you see all the virtual agents you already have. I did 2 before, and it just takes time to get every published app here. 2 or 3 or 5 minutes. That's it. But yeah, then it's available, and you can. Everyone can just pick it and install it. That's it. Now you are flexible with your bots in Teams.
Great, really great. Oh, thanks so much, Michael, for that awesome presentation. Let me just spell some questions from the audience. So yes. The first question says, how much it costs Power BI Legends Premium license? There are some categories.
I just got a single license. So the first one is you can edit, or you are getting it with your Microsoft 365 license. There are some different options with E3 or E5. And there are so many different additional features instead of just Power Virtual Agent. For the bigger license, there's a standalone license, and this is on a regular price of $600 US. I'm not sure what it is in the different countries, so maybe check it with your license dealer.
Okay, perfect. I hope that answers John's questions. And then next is Rahul saying, the skills are low code or we need to code?
No, these skills are low code. No need to code.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so that were the questions we had. So again, Michael, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. And for the attendees, we will uploading this video on our YouTube channel, so you can go and check it anytime you want. So thanks so much, Michael. If you want to say just the last words, you can do it.
It was a pleasure for me to be here. Thank you very much for having me. And I hope I rushed it at least a bit at the end to be in time.
Okay,
thank you
Michael.
very much again.
Thank you. Thanks so much. So bye-bye, everyone. And we encourage to go to the webpage and continue with the next session. So you can go and hit the links on the webpage. See you again. Bye.
Bye.